it's a man's world. Your reaction, Candy.
Me first, okay.
Like boy, like
So-
let's pretend we're artista.
Okay.
Your reaction.
I think it starts with the premise that it's supposed to be difficult for us because it's a man's world and we are not man, but we are human.
Oh, okay.
Right. It's really on the notion or on the because I was brought up in a fairly fine in gender difference, or there's really no gender difference in our family. In terms of man's world, it's just on the physical demands, meaning, let's say for maternity specifically. When we go on leave or when we become pregnant, we need at least 2 months to recover. And men would only have 7 days leave.
That's it? That's a
Yes.
deprivation.
So, I guess what you're looking at is also how do we get into the picture.
Yeah.
So, there. And also in terms of coming up with, there's a traditional boardroom meeting where you get to sit with all executives who are mostly men.
Okay.
Because of the leadership style and all. But knowing that we're coming from the coaching industry or field, that we know how to manage and ground ourselves well. First, we need to develop ourselves first before we can actually do counseling and coaching. So we know all of these and we become more aware of this before we even jump to getting into this profession. So that gave us the whole different ball game. If you would want to compare to, let's say, starting up or not ground zero type of lady starting business. Because, again, business is really about marketing and networking and sales. And although we are very much in an advantage of being talkative, guys can't be malambing and all that unless you want to be quoted another way.
All right.
But I guess the difference there is, of course, we are pamilyado kaming tao. So, there might just be a thin line of when you are flirting or when you're not, or when you're actually becoming tomboyish, or are you still, all of those expectation setting that, of course, you're a life coach, you're a counselor, you're supposed to have a perfect life.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, we're all humans. We all have our challenges on a personal, on a professional basis, and it's really on how we would handle that.
Okay.
There. So I guess
Well, you mentioned that you had to do all these things. I think that is a challenge in itself. It's just that you grew up knowing what to do, right? But there are people who have never known how to handle men. And I mean, not at a business level. What would you say to that person?
I actually agree with that, Boo. The more I think about it, the more I realize that sometimes women are also being boxed in certain behaviors. Like, for example, in business, in decision making, men are really, expected to be tough and straight in decision making.
And it's given to them in silver platter. While on our prove ourselves.
With women, it's like when you're so straight or so direct or so confrontative. Yeah, you're labeled bitch too.
Well, I don't know if we can say that on air, but that's okay. We said it.
In terms of corporate settings specifically, right? Because again, I have discussed the first notion, the leaves. That's a challenge on our end when we look for work, for example. You would now see, because of the demands of the economy as well, you would already see truck drivers who are women, or jeepney drivers who are women, or tricycle drivers who are women. But still, it's something
it's a minority.
Yes, because on our end, we cannot always carry something that heavy because may alagaan kaming matres. I mean,
So it all has to go down to the matres.
I don't know about that, Kenya.
No, but I think that makes, my opinion, and it's strictly my opinion, folks, is that I think that makes women tougher than men. Because if you gave that matres to a guy, and he had to carry a baby around for 9 months, probably abort it.
I wouldn't know what to do.
I wouldn't know what to do. Honestly, I I couldn't carry that for 9 minutes, let alone 9 months.
Let's think about where it's going out.
Let's not go there.
The point I'm trying to make, basically, is that it toughens you.
Yes.
What they don't see is how tough you guys, how tough women really are inside. Because they have to carry all these things. Okay, right?
Yeah. Other than internal toughness, what are the other hidden strengths of women in business? What do you think are your
I was
hidden
actually
strengths?
thinking about that. I think in that direction, Boom, resilience. Like, for example, with the different challenges, I think a woman will always go the extra mile because, the experience has given it to her. Sometimes we have had moments, for example, with challenges in terms of documentations, permits, not just locally but also internationally.
Really?
And sometimes the easy way out would be just call it quits. Maybe this is not for us. But a woman, when she would see the opportunity there, would just go through the emotions, and we're very good at details, right?
Correct.
No. Let's be patient with this one. Let's go with the details, and it's gonna get worked out.
Correct, because again, even in our personal life, we are detail-oriented. So things that men would have to look into a big picture, we can get into the detail and actually still look into the bigger picture. And also, again, in terms of resiliency, research-based wise, how many women, or let's just put it on database, males will have higher statistics in terms of suicide for executives
Wow, really? Okay.
than female.
Never become an executive.
Because on our end, we also have other channels of achievements. Like, for example, tough day at work, when you go home, Mommy, you even if you're so dead tired, when you see your kid, that's, even as a counselor, when you're
That's
on daily
universal. I
basis.
think even men feel the same way, right? Well,
Yes.
most men I know are really.
Yes, correct. Actually, it's a human thing to
Yeah.
feel that. But again, on our end, since we are expected to be much more in terms of holding the nurturing part of the family and holding
That's
the
true,
foundation, that gives us
The energy boost.
correct.
Okay, so excuse me, I got something in my throat right now. I can't talk. Can you?
Yeah. In the meantime, we'd like to remind you that we have this Facebook page. It's facebook.com/SME Forum. If you have any comments or suggestions or questions, send them over. I mean, like the page. Right? You go like
the page.
and post your comments. We'd love to hear your comments.
Yeah, not only the comments, even topic suggestions that you'd like us to discuss here. Maybe even suggest a guest or two if you want. So just go to our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/SME Forum. One word.
Yeah.
All right. And if you have questions right now, please dial the number you see on your screen. That's or text the number you see on your screen, 0923-416-5281, and they will be given